So what was it like then joining your first band? And who was the first band? Like, how did you go from doing the first thing to being in Oceans?
I guess if you want to go back far enough, the first band was Oceans.
Oh, really?
Because it started up in secondary school. I was in maybe year 8 or year 9. No, I was in year 8 and the other guys were in year 9. Jibs, they were the guitarist. Okay. And we started up just like a band and it sucked so bad. Like it had to have. But we kind of like made all the mistakes that you have to make at that age. Like we did the whole played a show as a local band and didn't realise the etiquette and probably ate loads of food or whatever. Like we were kids, we had no idea, but we made all the mistakes. And then we sort of said, it was in college actually, it was when I was in college. We said, right, let's do it properly now. We know what to do. We've been idiots, like we've got it figured out now. And that's when we changed the name to Oceans when I was in college, and we put out Clocks and it did really, really well somehow. It kind of went from there.
Because it did really well straight away.
It kind of did. It was quite mad, that was, because it was when, what band was it? I don't think it was Asking Alexandria, it was another one. It was in that era. There was another band. What were they called? They put out like, I don't remember the band name. They put out like a song and it did super well, but we kind of got pulled into that algorithm on YouTube. Like as their video blew up, our video blew up like second hand with it. Theirs did better, but ours was on the tail end of it sort of thing. And I think that was pretty much it. I think we just got lucky and we got caught in that stream off that video. I wish I could remember the band. You'll definitely know the band. It wasn't Asking Alexandria, it was the other one. Like the budget one. It was the B-Tech Asking Alexandria. I'm going to have to Google it after this, but yeah. I think we kind of got a bit lucky and we got caught up in that YouTube thing. And then we got approached by a smaller label, which I've forgotten the name of. Maybe it was, I think it was Artery. Maybe it wasn't a small label.
That's definitely not a small label.
No, I think it was Artery. Man, it's so long ago, honestly.
I think that's gone though now.
I think so.
I think it has gone, but it was massive at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to look really fucking out of touch if it's still actually going and it's doing well.
But no, we got approached by a label and we sort of like did something with them.
Because they did management as well, right?
They managed. That was right. They approached us for management.
Yeah. Archery Foundation was a massive management company.
That's it. Yeah. They hit us
15 years ago?
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. And then I think we did some stuff with them. And then we kind of was like, look, we kind of wanted Fearless, if I'm honest. We really wanted Fearless Records. And it was so long ago, we did it the old school way. We actually physically mailed a CD to Fearless. But we physically mailed it to a bunch of companies. And not all of them replied. I think 2 or maybe 3 replied. But Fearless was one of them. And then the other 2 didn't make offers. And then Fearless made an offer. But that's the one that we wanted, so we couldn't believe it. And then we did Lost Stars with them. And it went from there then.
I mean, that's pretty incredible, man, to actually get an offer from Fearless. Like, it's super especially weird. That early on.
I can't remember how old I was. I was still a teenager. So it was all like end of college type for me.
So you released those. You did over 10,000 copies.
Yeah,
Was the band and the label expecting that? Either of you?
I don't know, because I've never... Maybe the label expected it, because I guess they were putting their money in, so they kind of... Yeah. I guess they were expecting return. I don't think I expected it. I've always viewed myself as like the underdog, or like I've always been the youngest in the band, and I've always been... Not anymore, because I'm old now, but growing up, I was always the youngest person on the tour.
Also the henchest.
I was back then. I was bigger because I was climbing all the time. I'm nowhere near as big now. But like, I don't know. I guess I just thought it'll do what it'll do, and we'll just try. So I don't think I had an expectation. I think I was just like, let's just give it a go. I've been surprised and grateful for like anything really that we've had. It's never been expected, for sure.
How did it change things for the band then? Did it instantly just become serious?
Yeah. I don't think...
I mean, was it ever not serious?
was it ever serious?
Like,
It's more
has
my
it been
question.
serious since?
My question is more, was it ever serious? No, we've always taken it seriously musically. It's always been like we really take that side of it seriously. But at the end of the day, I play drums because it's fun.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and we play music because we enjoy it. And I think I've always tried to hold on to that value. I've never wanted it to be not fun. Do you know what I mean? So sure, we take the serious stuff serious, but we still want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that element changed. I think the biggest thing was like just got us on our first tour, and that changed. That was probably the turning point, if that's what you're trying to ask. Because it was like, I don't know what it's like now to get on your first tour. I've heard of terms like buy-ons and stuff, but I don't really know anything about that. But back then, we just needed tour support, really. We couldn't afford to do anything. And the label offered that, and they put us forward for this tour where it was a bus share. Our first tour was a bus share.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's mad. But obviously that was thousands. I can't remember how many thousands, but it was like thousands and thousands just for the bus alone. But they put all that up front for us to get us on our first tour, which was mad. And from that moment onwards, that changed everything, because as soon as you're in that circuit, you really are in that circuit. You see the same faces, the same people everywhere you go. It's surprisingly small. And that first tour was with Vela Mayer and Chelsea Grin, and like growing up, they were two of my favourite bands ever.
So did you ever have to do the local circuit?
Oh yeah, we didn't swerve it. We did it. We definitely did it, but I think we did that before we were called Oceans, or maybe a bit of the start of Oceans. We definitely did that. We did a tour, if you can call it a tour. It was 3 or 4 shows around the UK in our guitarist's Ford Fiesta, the band and the gear. I don't know how. We had guitars on our laps. There was 3 of us in the back with the guitars stacked on our laps, and we were playing in like, well, they weren't venues, they were pubs, and it was to people that don't want to listen to metal, if people at all. No, we definitely did the rough touring, and we did a lot of US touring as well. After that first tour, we did a lot of US touring in a van and trailer rig, which is, famously taxing on your body.
Yeah.
Man, we had some times, dude. We had some of the winter tours. We did a winter tour around, it was US and Canada, but in Canada it was so cold, to the point of like I was sleeping in the van with all my clothes and my shoes on. I couldn't take my shoes off in the van. It was way too cold. And the one night my shoes froze to the window because I slept with my feet on the window. I had to literally like chisel my shoes off. It was like pure pain, like just permanently ill. Man, it was brutal. The one night our guitarist's pillow froze. It was a memory foam pillow, and it froze
in
and
position.
He was like, look, my pillow's rock hard, and he started doing this with it, and his pillow snapped in half. Like literally he snapped his pillow. It was that cold.
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
How many dates did you do in Canada?
Oh, I can't remember, dude. It was a good like 6-7 weeks. It was a long tour, but like I can't remember how many dates are in Canada. But yeah, we didn't like.
I remember.
I don't think anyone is lucky enough to bypass doing the graft in that sense.
I remember it being a thing that you were just constantly in the US.
Yeah, we did a lot. That was after signing to Fearless, because they're a US label.
Did you do better in the US than the UK?
Always have done, always will do. Still today.
I mean, that's pretty unusual for a UK band.
I think it is actually.
It is, man. I mean, it's a huge thing with bands wanting to break America.
Yeah,
and it being too expensive to get over there.
It is expensive. It's super expensive to tour America as a foreign act. But like, I don't know. It's great, but it's also not great, because I see the American bands that are big in America, and because they don't have flights, visas, renting, everything, they actually make money when they tour America. But no matter how well we did, we'd never really make money, because it was just too expensive.
Was it Fearless fronting all that?
In the early days.
How did that affect sort of like the contract?
I think we had tour support, and I think there was an actual budget for that. Or maybe there was a tour support per album. I can't remember. I honestly can't remember if there was just like a set amount, this is your tour support, or if it was a set amount per album. I honestly can't remember. But I know that after we exhausted that, it was just like on us. But I remember we still couldn't manage that, so our manager fronted stuff. But it was kind of like our manager would front costs for us, and then we'd do the tour, and then if we made any profit on the tour, it would just be chipping away, paying back him. So it was like we ran on on not even break even. We ran in on debt for
Yeah.
a long time, you know.
I don't think that's uncommon. Was it Archery that was the manager then?
No, no, we moved on from them either before Fearless or around the time of when we
Okay.
got Fearless. I haven't thought about this stuff in so long. It's really like memory lane.
Who did you move to then?
Management.
Yeah, and why?
I can't remember why. I honestly can't remember why. I really can't. We moved to a guy called Jason, who I think at the time, it might still be called Royal Division. I think it was called Royal Division then. But we was with Jason for a long time. Yeah, he did a lot. We did a lot of work with Jason, actually. He definitely pushed pretty hard to get us on a lot of tours, and he was a big driving force in the early days, for sure.
With you doing so much in the US, was that because you thought it was good for the career, or just because it was way more fun than being in the UK? Like,
I guess there's more to do. Like you can do a week in the UK,
yeah,
and that's it. You know, I see people do more than 7 shows in the UK, and it's only because they're huge and they're doing more than one night in one area, or they're just like overdoing it, and it's kind of pointless. I guess there's so much to do in America. There's so many places to play, and I think also the genre was a lot bigger in America at the time. And as well with our management being American and with our label being American, I think it just was. I guess we just was better there.
yeah.
I'm not really sure. I don't know if it was a conscious decision from us. I think it's just like these were the offers we got, and we just kind of went with them.